All India Radio presents Morning News. Good morning, I'm Anuja Kumar and with me is Sunil Verma. The headlines. India and China agree to handle their differences through peaceful discussion. Government promulgates 2 ordinances to help farmers and to boost rural economy. Union Minister Nitin Gadkari launches national awareness campaign on prevention of human and animal mortality on highways. Council of Scientific and Industrial Research and Atal Innovation Mission join hands to promote culture of innovation and entrepreneurship. And India's foreign exchange reserve reaches new all-time high of $493.48 billion US. India and China have agreed that the 2 countries will handle their differences through peaceful discussion. Joint Secretary East Asia in the Ministry of External Affairs, Naveen Srivastav, held talks with Wu Jiangao, Director General in the Chinese Ministry of Foreign Affairs, through video conference yesterday. The talks took place just a day before the Lieutenant Colonel level meet between India and China held high significance in terms of peaceful dissolution between both the countries. During the meeting, the 2 sides reviewed the state of bilateral relations, including the current developments. In this context, they recalled the consensus reached by the leaders of the 2 countries that peaceful, stable and balanced relations between India and China will be a positive factor for stability in the current global situation. Both sides also agreed that in accordance with the guidance provided by the leadership, the 2 sides should handle their differences through peaceful discussion, bearing in mind the importance of respecting each other's sensitivities, concerns and aspirations and not allow them to become disputes. The 2 sides also exchanged views on the challenge posed by the COVID-19 pandemic and cooperation in various multilateral forums. In a significant development, Lieutenant General level military officers are going to meet to resolve the Indo-China border standoff in the eastern Ladakh region. Our correspondent reports Indian Army and People's Liberation Army of China are meeting at Moldo on Chinese side in a few hours from now. More from our Leh correspondent.
To maintain the consensus reached by the leaders of 2 nations to maintain peaceful, stable and balanced relations between India and China, the Lieutenant General level army officers are going to meet at Moldo border post in China. The meeting place Moldo is about 300 kilometers away from Leh and 5 kilometers from the line of actual control. Amidst over 2 weeks long standoff in eastern Ladakh between 2 powerful armies in the world, the meeting is seen as very important. On Friday, in a video conference between Indian External Affairs Ministry East Asia Joint Secretary Mr. Naveen Srivastava and Chinese Foreign Affairs Director General Mr. Wu Jiangao, both the countries have agreed to respect each other's sensitivities, concerns and aspirations. Today, in the meeting between the armies at Moldo, Fire and Fury General Officer Commanding Lieutenant General Harinder Singh will represent India. Both armies are expected to discuss the de-escalation of tensions and resolve the differences in a peaceful manner. Ramesh Chandra, All India Radio News, Leh.
Prime Minister Narendra Modi had a telephonic conversation yesterday with the President of Rwanda, Paul Kagame. Prime Minister assured India's steadfast support to Rwanda's efforts to combat coronavirus, including medical assistance. He appreciated efforts of the people of Rwanda in combating this challenge and conveyed his best wishes for the health and well-being of the people of Rwanda. The 2 leaders discussed challenges posed to their healthcare systems and economies by the COVID-19 pandemic. They shared information about the steps taken in their country to manage the crisis and ensure well-being of citizens. Both leaders agreed to extend all possible support to each other's expatriate citizens during the present crisis. President Ramnath Kovind has promulgated 2 ordinances with an aim of giving a boost to rural economy and to help farmers. These 2 ordinances are the Farmers' Produce, Trade and Commerce Promotion and Facilitation Ordinance and the Farmers' Empowerment and Protection Agreement on Price Assurance and Farm Services Ordinance 2020. Recently, these 2 ordinances were approved by the Union Cabinet. These 2 ordinances will enable barrier-free trade in agriculture produce and also empower the farmer to engage with sponsors of his choice. Agriculture Minister Narendra Singh Tomar yesterday wrote to all the chief ministers informing them of the ordinances and solicited their cooperation in implementation of the reforms. He sought their continued support in the development and growth of the agriculture sector in the new reformed environment. The central government is making comprehensive interventions to facilitate efficiency and effectiveness to agricultural marketing with an aim of raising the income of the farmers.
The Union Government has promulgated an ordinance to amend the Insolvency and Bankruptcy Code. Under it, fresh insolvency proceedings will not be initiated for defaults due to the COVID-19 pandemic. Default on repayments from 25th of March, the day when the nationwide lockdown began to curb coronavirus infections, will not be considered for initiating insolvency proceedings for a certain period of time. Road Transport and Highways Minister Nitin Gadkari has launched a national awareness campaign on prevention of human and animal mortality on highways. Launching the campaign through video conference yesterday, Mr. Gadkari underlined the need for generating awareness and education for the masses at large towards reducing or eliminating mortality on the roads. He said ecology and sustainability are most important for human life. The minister informed that the country witnesses nearly 5 lakh road accidents every year, in which about 1.5 lakh lives are lost. Mr. Gadkari said he is endeavouring to bring down these figures by 20 to 25% by March next year. Over 5,000 black spots have been identified, and the process for their rectification, including temporary and permanent measures, is being carried out on urgent basis. Mr. Gadkari also informed that his ministry is conscious about the need to protect animal life on the roads. He said the ministry has requested all agencies to follow the provisions of the manual titled Eco-Friendly Measures to Mitigate Impacts of Linear Infrastructure on Wildlife, issued by Wildlife Institute of India, Dehradun. He requested NGOs and social organizations to locate black spots for animals on the roads and inform his ministry so that necessary corrective action may be taken.
Union Minister Dr. Jitendra Singh has said the Online Common Eligibility Test, CET, for recruitment to non-gazetted posts will ease the difficulties faced by aspirants for government jobs. The minister said this while releasing a digital book titled Arambh and highlighting the achievements of the Department of Personnel and Training, DOPT, through video conferencing yesterday. Narrating some of the salient achievements of the department in 1 year, Dr. Jitendra Singh said, fundamental reforms have been initiated in the area of government recruitment. The NRA will conduct computer-based online common eligibility test for recruitment to non-gazetted posts with test centres in every district. The Narendra Modi government recently completed the first year of its second term. The 365-day period has witnessed a series of chronicles being scripted, from resolving age-old issues to bringing technology-driven solutions. The country has embarked on its journey to become a $5 trillion economy. Our correspondent takes a look at the slew of measures and economic reforms introduced in the last 1 year of the Modi government.
Nurturing national sentiments on one hand, the nation embarked on its path of inclusive Vikas Yatra when the uphill task to embolden the economy was handed to Nirmala Sitharaman. As the first full-time woman finance minister of the country, she announced a slew of economic measures catering to the needs of middle class, corporates, MSMEs, labourers and farmers in her 2 budgets. Corporate taxes were slashed to one of the lowest in the world, whereas huge impetus to ensure supply of drinking water and electricity for every household with emphasis on Gaon, Garib and Kisan was laid down. 10 banks were merged to address the issue of NPAs and provide better services to the consumers. Even when the economy was masked due to the coronavirus, the Narendra Modi government, through its preemptive and proactive response, rolled out a package of 1,70,000 crore rupees on the second day of the nationwide lockdown. Direct cash relief was extended to over 40% of the population, whereas 66% of the population received extra food grains for 3 months. The Atmanirbhar Bharat Abhiyan stimulus of over 20 lakh crore rupees added new leaflets of historic reforms. The ambit of MSMEs was widened for all enterprises with turnover up to 250 crore rupees. Farmers were given freedom to sell their produce in any part of the country, even through the digital platforms. Salaried employees and employers were benefited as government committed to bear the 24% EPF contribution on their behalf. Provisioning of 3 lakh crore collateral-free loan for MSMEs, 2 lakh crore concessional credit for farmers and self-reliant loan scheme for street vendors were few other major decisions by the government to heal the economy from the viral contagion. Anand Chaturvedi, AIR News, Delhi.
India's foreign exchange reserves surged by $3.43 billion to reach a fresh all-time high of $493.48 billion in the week ended 29th of last month. A Reserve Bank of India press release has informed that foreign currency assets, a major part of the overall reserves, rose by $3.50 billion to $455.21 billion. In the previous week, the reserves had increased by $3 billion to end at $490.044 billion. The total value of the gold reserves, however, continued to decline. Gold reserves went down by $97 million to end at $32.682 billion. India's special drawing rights with the International Monetary Fund remained unchanged at $1.43 billion, while the country's reserve position rose by $31 million to $4.16 billion.
Government offices in the Union Territory of J&K shall function with all officers and staff at all levels on a regular basis on all working days from Monday. AIR Jammu correspondent reports that the employees who are at higher risk, such as older employees, pregnant employees, and employees who have underlying medical conditions, should take extra precautions and should preferably not be exposed to any frontline work requiring direct contact with the public, and the office management would facilitate work from home wherever feasible. The routine issue of visitors and temporary passes would be suspended, and only those visitors with proper permission of the officer who they want to meet would be allowed after being properly screened, and all the measures prescribed in the SOP on preventive measures to contain spread of COVID-19 in offices will be followed at all times, besides the biometric attendance, which will continue to remain suspended until further orders. You are listening to the morning news on All India Radio. A reminder of the headlines before we move on. India and China agree to handle their differences through peaceful discussion. Government promulgates 2 ordinances to help farmers and to boost rural economy. Union Minister Nitin Gadkari launches National Awareness Campaign on prevention of human and animal mortality on highways. Council of Scientific and Industrial Research and Untitled Innovation Mission join hands to promote culture of innovation and entrepreneurship. And India's foreign exchange reserve reaches new all-time high of $493.48 billion. For quick news updates round the clock, follow us on our Twitter handle at AIR News Alerts.
अरे बबलू, लॉकडाउन खुलते ही टहलने निकल पड़े। महामारी अभी फैली हुई है।
सरपंच जी, टहलने नहीं, कहाँ पे वापस जा रहे हैं?
तुझे डर नहीं लगता वायरस पकड़ लेगा?
पहले थोड़ा बहुत डर लगता था, फिर पता चला कि अगर मैंने पूरी सावधानी बरती तो ये बीमारी होने की संभावना कम है। सबसे महत्वपूर्ण है ये मास्क। काम पर मास्क हमेशा पहनूंगा, समय समय पर हाथ धोता रहूंगा और दूसरों से हर वक्त कम से कम 2 गज की दूरी बनाए रखूंगा। खुद को, दूसरों को और अपने परिवार वालों को भी सुरक्षित रखूंगा।
अरे भाई, मेरी जिम्मेदारी बनती है तुझे चेतावनी देना, तो दे दिया।
जब देश के मेडिकल और स्वच्छता कर्मचारी रोज कोरोना वायरस से लड़ने का काम कर रहे हैं, तो हमारी भी तो जिम्मेदारी बनती है अपना काम करने की।
बबलू, तुझे कुछ हो गया तो?
हजारों लोग इस बीमारी को हराकर ठीक हो चुके हैं, और अगर किसी कारण मुझे ये बीमारी हो भी जाए तो सरकार ने अस्पताल में हमारे इलाज के लिए पर्याप्त व्यवस्था कर रखी है। ये घबराने का वक्त नहीं, एक दूसरे का हौसला बढ़ाने का वक्त है। कोरोना वायरस से हमें लड़ाई जारी रखनी पड़ेगी और उससे डर कर नहीं, पूरी सावधानी के साथ डट कर चलिए। रुकी जिंदगी को आगे बढ़ाएं, देश को आत्मनिर्भर बनाएं। जय हिंद।
The Council of Scientific and Industrial Research, CSIR, has come together with Untitled Innovation Mission, AIM, to promote a culture of innovation and entrepreneurship in various sectors. In this regard, a letter of intent was signed yesterday between CSIR and Niti Aayog. These 2 organizations joined hands to support world-class startups through CSIR incubators under Untitled Innovation Mission initiatives and working together on new models of innovation, including setting up of CSIR Innovation Parks. Both organizations will work in tandem to stimulate innovation and research in the micro, small and medium enterprises industry in collaboration with ARISE initiative of AIM. This initiative works to stimulate innovation and research in the MSMEs industry. CSIR is working with MSMEs to provide technical solutions to the industries. These two organizations will also collaborate in creating problem-solving mindset across schools in India through close cooperation between Atal Tinkering Labs and Jigyasa.
Under Vande Bharat mission, 166 stranded Indian nationals from Oman reached Gaya in Bihar last evening. They were stranded due to lockdown in view of the corona pandemic. All passengers are from different parts of the state. These passengers were sent for quarantine for 7 days in different hotels at Bodh Gaya, arranged by the state government after thermal screening. Meanwhile, 300 persons who had earlier come from Kuwait were sent home from hotels on completing of their quarantine period. In Jammu and Kashmir, 16 domestic flights with 1,571 passengers on board landed at Jammu and Srinagar airports yesterday. AIR Jammu correspondent reports that 361 passengers on board 6 flights arrived at Jammu, while 10 flights with 1,210 passengers on board landed at Srinagar airport. After arrival, all the passengers were tested for COVID-19 virus and transported to their destinations at both the airports amid strict observance of all necessary preventive protocols. In Madhya Pradesh, 234 new cases of coronavirus have been found, and so the number of infected cases in the state has gone up to around 9,000. So far, 384 people have died, while 241 patients have recovered in the last 24 hours. Our correspondent reports that no new coronavirus case was reported in 25 districts, while the number of active cases is also less than the cured ones.
In Madhya Pradesh, 5,878 people have recovered from the infection so far, while the number of active cases are 2,734. Meanwhile, taking a step towards employment for migrant laborers, the Madhya Pradesh government is providing all information about the skilled and unskilled categories of migrant laborers on the Rozgar Setu portal from 10th June. Apart from this, information about vacancies available in the industries will also be displayed on this portal. The objective of bringing the information of employment seekers and employment providers in one platform is that the entrepreneur will get the workers according to their requirement and the workers will be getting employment according to their skills. Chief Minister Shivraj Singh Chauhan will inaugurate the Rozgar Setu portal on Wednesday. Sanjeev Sharma, AIR News, Bhopal.
Uttar Pradesh recorded its biggest single-day jump of 502 COVID-19 cases yesterday, taking the tally of total cases till date to 9,733 in the state. During the last 24 hours, 12 more people succumbed to the disease. Yesterday was also the day when highest number of testings were done in the state. A total of 5,648 patients were discharged following recovery. Meanwhile, instructions have been given to provide lukewarm water to the patients in all hospitals in the state. During lockdown, many people who were suffering from serious ailments faced difficult situations since movement was restricted and sometimes they were not able to reach to medical shops due to various reasons. At this juncture, the central and the state governments came for the help of such persons. Our Lucknow correspondent tells you how the Prime Minister's office helped a cancer patient in Varanasi.
Ashish Arun, a cancer and kidney patient from Prime Minister Narendra Modi's constituency Varanasi, faced difficulty in getting his medicines during lockdown. His life was in danger. Finally, PMO came to his rescue. There are thousands like Ashish who got timely redressal of their grievances and thanking government for the prompt reply. Sushil Chandra Tiwari, AIR News, Lucknow.
Gujarat continues to witness a surge in COVID-19 cases. The positive cases crossed 19,000 mark in the state yesterday. As many as 510 new cases were reported during the last 24 hours, which is the highest increase in a single day. The State Health Department official said 35 patients died due to COVID-19 yesterday, while as many as 344 persons also recovered during the day. A report.
The state health department said the recovery rate of the state is improving and is now stands at 68.5% from the 44.3% in the last week of May. The number of discharges in the state also crossed 13,000 mark yesterday. Out of the fresh cases, maximum 324 cases and 30 deaths were reported from Ahmedabad district alone. The mortality rate in Ahmedabad remains alarming and is one of the worst in the country. As many as 972 patients have died due to COVID-19 in Ahmedabad district till now. Meanwhile, the state government has allocated 200 crore from the Chief Minister's Relief Fund for the fight against coronavirus, of which 100 crore will be given to State Health Department to build the health infrastructure, while the remaining 100 crores will be given to 7 municipal corporations in the fight against coronavirus. Ahmedabad city, which is the worst affected due to COVID-19 in the state, has been given maximum rupees 50 crore. Aparna Khun, AR News, Ahmedabad.
In Maharashtra, the total number of coronavirus patients has crossed 80,000. The state recorded 2,436 new cases, leading to a tally of 80,229. The death toll too surged by 139, the highest in a day recorded so far. Meanwhile, Maharashtra's Home Minister Anil Deshmukh has informed that around 11.9 lakh migrant workers have been sent back home by 826 Shramik special train services till 2nd of June. More from our Mumbai correspondent.
In an affidavit filed before the Bombay High Court, the Maharashtra government had said that it did not have any pending demand for Shramik special trains and it would arrange for the same if requests are made. The affidavit filed by Kishore Nimbarkar, Secretary of Disaster Management, Relief and Rehabilitation Department, further said that adequate measures were and are being taken to provide food, shelter and medical care to migrant laborers stranded in the state. According to the affidavit, over 6.6 lakh migrants were housed in 5,427 relief camps, adding that the number of migrants had come down to 37,994 by end of May. It added that the government and civic authorities had also provided food packets and drinking water to people travelling in Shramik trains. Meanwhile, India's biggest container handling port, Jawaharlal Nehru Port Trust, has converted its multi-skilled training center at Bokarvira into a 120-bed COVID hospital. Madhuri Pange, AIR News, Mumbai.
In Jharkhand, 93 new COVID-19 cases were reported in the last 24 hours, which is the highest number of positive cases confirmed in a single day. The total number of cases has mounted to 936, while 7 people have died due to novel coronavirus. 56 patients, including 2 young children from Koderma district, recovered from the viral infection yesterday and were discharged from hospitals. 37 patients recovered and were discharged from Dhanbad district during the last 24 hours, while a total of 446 people have won the battle against COVID-19 in the state. Door-to-door medical screening in containment zones is being carried out to intensify contact tracing of newly detected cases of COVID-19, as 483 active cases are being treated at COVID isolation centers.
A 38-year-old woman has recovered from coronavirus infection after taking the plasma therapy in Bengaluru. She was admitted in Victoria Hospital ICU with diabetes, high sugar levels and COVID-19 symptoms. The Dean and Director of Bangalore Medical College and Research Institute, Dr. C.R. Jayanti, who treated the patient, has informed that the patient received the plasma therapy on May 27th, following which she showed steady improvement in her condition.
In Tamil Nadu, a 13-year-old Madurai girl, Netra, has been appointed the Goodwill Ambassador of the United Nations Association for Development and Peace, the UNADAP. It was in recognition of her role in feeding the poor during the COVID-19 lockdown, along with a father, a hairdresser by profession. He has spent over 5 lakh rupees for the noble cause. Prime Minister Narendra Modi, in his Mann Ki Baat address last Sunday, had appreciated the gesture of helping those in need at difficult times. Meanwhile, 1,438 people have tested positive for COVID-19 yesterday. It was the 6th consecutive day for the daily count to exceed the 1,000 mark. More from our correspondent.
As the COVID-19 count in Chennai swells every day to newer heights, the Tamil Nadu government has nominated 5 ministers to be part of the field support team in the city.
The team has been formed a few weeks back with senior IAS and IPS officials. They will now be joined by the ministers who will oversee the coordination and relief works being done by the city civic body. An order to this effect by the government says they will concentrate on the containment zone management, focused testing, contact tracing, isolation and quarantine activities in the city. Jai Singh, AR News, Chennai.
Participating in our live phone-in program on COVID-19, senior physician Dr. Balbir Singh said coronavirus has very low infection rate than other infectious diseases and its recovery rate also is very high.
हमारे देश में इस वायरस से जो इन्फेक्शन है वो 80 to 85% बहुत ही माइल्ड होता है और 4 से 5 दिन में इन्फेक्शन क्लियर हो जाता है. मुश्किल से 5 से 7% केसेस ऐसे हैं जिसमें ये सीरियस फॉर्म लेता है, लेकिन उसमें भी अगर हम टाइमली ऑक्सीजन थेरेपी दें और इसका जो भी है सिम्प्टोमेटिक ट्रीटमेंट दें तो वो पेशेंट रिकवर हो जाते हैं.
In our series Experts Speak on All India Radio, we bring you the views of some leading medical experts on COVID-19. Talking to AIR News, Dr. Amar Chand Bajaj, Senior Consultant in Sitaram Bhartiya Institute of Science and Research, New Delhi, highlighted the importance of hygiene and how to maintain it to contain novel coronavirus.
जब तक हमारे पास इनकी ट्रीटमेंट वैक्सीन या मेडिसिन के रूप में ना निकले तब तक हमें जो प्रिकॉशनरी मेजर्स है वो फॉलो करने हैं. जहाँ जरूरत ना हो उसमें घर से बिल्कुल बाहर ना निकले, कोशिश करें कम से कम बाहर निकलना है. और जबकि निकलना भी पड़ा घर से बाहर तो कोशिश करें कि जहाँ आप 2 लोग खड़े हैं करीब 2 मीटर दूर खड़े रहें, नहीं तो कम से कम 1 मीटर दूर खड़े रहें.
World Health Organization has updated its guidelines to recommend that governments ask everyone to wear fabric face masks in public areas where there is a risk of transmission of COVID-19. In a press briefing yesterday, WHO Director General Tedros Adhanom Ghebreyesus also said people over the age of 60 or those with underlying medical conditions should wear a medical mask in situations where social distancing cannot be maintained. The News Services Division of All India Radio in this bilingual live phone-in program today will bring you a special discussion on COVID-19. Vaidya Rajesh Kotecha, Secretary, Ministry of Ayush, will participate in the discussion. Listeners can ask questions to the experts on the toll-free telephone number 1-800-115767. One can also ask questions on the telephone number 011-2331-4444 and post queries on our Twitter handle at AIR News Alerts by hashtag AskAIR. This can be heard tonight on FM Gold channel and additional frequencies from 9:30 p.m. onwards.
Now let us take a look at the weather forecast for the day today. The national capital Delhi recorded minimum temperature of 25 degrees Celsius. Maximum temperature is expected to hover around 36 degrees Celsius with generally cloudy sky. Mumbai will have partly cloudy sky with 1 or 2 spells of rain or thunder showers today. The minimum temperature recorded today was 23 degrees while maximum will go up to 32 degrees. In the south, Chennai is expecting generally cloudy sky with light rain or drizzle. Kolkata will witness partly cloudy sky with possibility of moderate rain or thunderstorm. On to the north, in Union Territory of Jammu and Kashmir, the minimum temperature was 23 degrees Celsius in Jammu, while maximum will be around 37 degrees. In Gilgit, the minimum temperature recorded 16 degrees Celsius and maximum is expected to be around 32 degrees. The region will have partly cloudy sky, becoming generally cloudy towards the afternoon. In Muzaffarabad, there will also be partly cloudy sky with possibility of rain or thunderstorm.
And now, an overview of today's press comments. All the dailies have mentioned the Indian and Chinese military officers meet on LAC today. The Hindu reports India-China hold talks agree to resolve differences peacefully. The top stories in all the dailies today cite the intention of the Apex Court of passing an order on the migrants. The Pioneer writes the Supreme Court send migrants home in 15 days, while the Hindustan Times reports the SC directing states prepare employment roadmap for migrants. Almost all the dailies have quoted the Finance Minister's announcement on approved schemes to remain suspended. No new government schemes this year, writes the Statesman. Salons go for makeover before throwing open their doors with key safety checks, notes the Economic Times. Referring to shrines being opened with caution, the Times of India reports Puri Temple may stay closed till July 4th. Maharashtra too unlikely to open shrines yet. And finally, Mail Today writes about a digital campaign kicking off how to save lockdown's green gains even after the lockdown is fully lifted.
And now, before we end the bulletin, the headlines once again. India and China agree to handle their differences through peaceful discussion. Government promulgates 2 ordinances to help farmers and to boost rural economy. Union Minister Nitin Gadkari launches National Awareness Campaign on prevention of human and animal mortality on highways. Council of Scientific and Industrial Research and Atal Innovation Mission join hands to promote culture of innovation and entrepreneurship. And India's foreign exchange reserve reaches new all-time high of $493.48 billion US. And with that, we end the morning news. Have a nice day.